What was the most bizarre school rule you had in your school? Smash the like button to give this video a big thumbs up. Thanks. Now let's get started. Our handbook stated that you could only address teachers as Mr., Mrs., Miss, Doctor, or Coach. The 60-year-old woman, who was in no way involved with athletics, that taught biology, tried to write a referral to one of my friends, who insisted on calling her Coach for insubordination. Admin couldn't do anything about it, so they removed Coach from the list of acceptable names, and reissued the handbook. 2. That both happened in high school. No high fives, as administration considered it bullying. They never once explained how, but it was. They banned any drink that wasn't water or plain milk. They would actually check lunch bags as kids entered, to make sure they weren't sneaking anything in. They were especially hard on hot beverages. The years before, high schoolers could have coffee or tea from home, but then they became convinced we were adding sugar to it, and banned it. I was getting over laryngitis once, and had a travel mug of hot water with honey and lemon, like my doctor suggested, and the bitch of a gym teacher snatched it and dumped it, even though I had a doctor's note. Bonus: we were a K-12 school. They gave 18-year-old seniors the same size portions as 6-year-old kindergartners, aka 3 chicken nuggets and 4 carrot sticks. Then they'd bitch at the older kids if they brought snacks and stuff to eat. Not a school rule, but one guy in my grade passed the year for the sole reason that he was the only drummer in the school, and he threatened to change schools if he had to repeat the year. Our principal didn't want our band not to have a drummer, so the guy passed. The fact that we had to ask to use the bathroom, I just find that bizarre overall, especially when they told you no. What are you even supposed to do when they say no? Guess I'll just piss my pants then. I had this one teacher give us passes we could use to go to the bathroom, and only gave out 2 each for the whole year. By the end of the year we would have someone threatening to shit on the floor, or walking up to the trash can and saying they'll pee on it every few classes. Off the top of my head, my high school had a rule that you had to register your car with the school if you wanted to drive to school. That wouldn't be totally weird, until you consider that my high school was in a very urban area, and only had one small lot that was for faculty only. Students had to park on the street, so in other words, we had to get a pass from the school in order to park on the public streets. How would they ever enforce that? You'd think, right? But I actually did get in trouble for it once. A utility company was doing work on the power lines, and they needed to clear cars off the block. They saw a high school sticker in the window and called the school. The school ran my plates with DMV. Didn't know that was possible either, and I wound up with a few days detention, and a couple demerits. This was literally only a few days after I started driving to school, and I had no idea you had to register cars with them. In my elementary school, the 5th grade girls were subject to bra checks every morning by the female principal. It wasn't invasive per se, she simply would run her hand down their backs to ensure they were wearing one. If they were not wearing them, they were sent home. Edit. This was in a very conservative state in 2000. This school was ass backwards AF. They once tried to suspend me when I was in the 1st grade for not standing for the national anthem. I was scolded by the teacher in front of my whole class for making a political statement. I was 6. I would flip if my kid got sent home in 5th grade for not wearing a bra, right? No, you're not gonna feel my kid up to make sure she's wearing a bra? That's so crazy to me. No mechanical pencils. Why? Not the person who posted it, but I once had one, and it broke while I was holding it, shooting the mine in the back of the person to the front left of me, so it might be for safety reasons. My elementary school banned soccer for 3 years, because I hit the teacher's assistant with the ball as I went to shoot. She was bending down to tie her shoe in the middle of the field. My school banned kickball for a year because we couldn't decide on teams. Nothing with a hood could be worn. The vice principal threatened to cut the hoods off if he caught students wearing one, and would stand at the school's entrance carrying around a pair of scissors. I don't know of any instances of people losing their hoods, so it was mostly just a scare tactic to enforce it. Some people had their hoodie or jacket confiscated, but returned at the end of the day, but intact. It was such a bizarre rule. Came out of nowhere in the middle of winter, and was enforced for only a few weeks before people stopped caring. No reading Harry Potter books for school-related purposes. I shit you not. The vice president of my elementary school forced this onto us. That's a good way to get kids to read Harry Potter. No backpacks allowed. In a high school where lockers were severely lacking, so each locker had 3 people using it, were you supposed to hold your stuff? My high school had a no bags allowed rule, but also you couldn't have a lock on your locker. But also you weren't supposed to have your phone in your pockets during class. None of the teachers actually enforced any of that, but the principal would sometimes try to make people follow his dumb rules. No colored duct tape. Our principal was a proud and very openly homophobic a-hole. If he saw any boy that did something he considered gay, he would ban it. This was also 2001 to 2005, so major emo period with long hair, eyeliner, and painted nails. My brother was openly gay and was a common target for this a-hole. One day my brother's backpack ripped, and all we had was colored duct tape from moving that we used to color code boxes. He slapped some purple duct tape on his bag, and went about his business. Lo and behold, by lunch Principal F faces frothing out the mouth, and makes an announcement that colored duct tape is banned from school grounds. Dude got sued several times before I graduated over his harassment. I don't know if it's really bizarre, but dress code for the girls. They aren't even allowed to show shoulders. Last year they almost banned Crocs because someone was offended, cause they saw some girls' feet. For the girls who are dress coded, they automatically either get ISS or they have to cover the showing part of skin with duct tape or toilet paper.